राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। पितृं च स्थानम् आतिष्ठ यथोक्तं ब्रह्मवादिभिः मयि आवेश्य मनस्तात कुरु कर्माणि मत्परः। पितृं च स्थानम् आतिष्ठ यथोक्तं ब्रह्मवादिभिः मयि आवेश्य मनस्तात कुरु कर्माणि मत्परः। पितृं च स्थानम् आतिष्ठ यथोक्तं ब्रह्मवादिभिः मयि आवेश्य मनस्तथा कुरु कर्माणि मत्परः। पितृं च स्थानम् आतिष्ठ यथोक्तं ब्रह्मवादिभिः मयि आवेश्य मनस्तात कुरु कर्माणि मत्परः। यथोक्तं ब्रह्मवादिभिः स्थातं पितृं च स्थानमातिष्ठ ब्रह्मवादिभिः मयि आवेश्य मनस्तात Guru Karmani Matparaha. Okay. Translation word to word. Pitryam, paternal. Cha, also. Sthanam, place. Throne. Atishtha, sit upon. Yatha uktam, as described. Brahmavadibhihi, by the followers of Vedic civilization. My, unto me. Aveshya, being fully absorbed. Manaha, the mind. Tata, my dear boy. Guru, just execute. Karmani, the regulative duties. Matparaha, just for the sake of my work. Okay. After performing the ritualistic ceremonies, take charge of your father's kingdom. Sit upon the throne and do not be disturbed by materialistic activities. Please keep your mind fixed upon me without transgressing the injunctions of the Vedas. As a matter of formality, you may perform your particular duties. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When one becomes a devotee, he no longer has any duty to the Vedic regulative principles. One has many duties to perform, but if one becomes fully devoted to the Lord, he no longer has any such obligations. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.41, Devarshi bhutapta nirnam pitranam na kinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmana yasharanam sharanyam gato mukundam pariharta kartam. One who has fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord is no longer a debtor to his forefathers, the great sages, human society, the common man, or any living entity. The Supreme Personality of Godhead nonetheless advised Prahlad Maharaj to follow the regulative principles. For since he was going to be the king, others would follow his example. Thus Lord Nrsimhadev advised Prahlad Maharaj to engage in his political duties so that people would become Lord's devotees. Yad yad acharati sreshthas tat tad eve tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Bhagavad Gita 3.21. One should not be attached to any materialistic activities, but a devotee may perform such activities as an example to show the common man that one should not deviate from Vedic injunctions. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदे गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्. हरे कृष्णा. So seeking the blessings of all the devotees over here so that do this seva uh, as pleasing to the Hari Guru Vaishnavas. So this is a very interesting segment going on. Prahlad Maharaj offered his beautiful prayers. This whole episode itself is very iconic. Nrsimhadev appeared to protect Prahlad Maharaj. Almost imminent uh, death impounded by his father so many times. He could escape, and Nrsimhadev appeared to protect Prahlad Maharaj and to kill Hiranyakashipu. And in a very graphic way. And it's generally one person who has conquered the entire universe, all demigods, everything around him, but he got defeated by a 5-year-old boy, his own boy. That's the nature of Lord, and even the material nature of Lord is such that if one becomes too arrogant or proud about certain things, the most unexpectedly small source becomes the cause of disturbance, because Lord wants to show that everybody is, whatever they are, so we are insignificant living entities at the end of the day, all of us. When we used to study maths, there used to be this concept of limits, there, the particular thing tends to be zero. So even if you take it as zero, nothing is going to be. So we are like that, not exactly zero, but most like, it doesn't matter, I mean, that is proven also. So many people have left this world, but the world moves on. Nothing changes. But sometimes due to the pride, arrogance, we think that no, I am the fulcrum of this world, or at least the little world I am in, the world moves on. So anyways, now, after that whole episode, Prahlad Maharaj offered his wonderful prayers, and now Nrsimhadev is giving blessings. He actually offered a lot of things, but Prahlad Maharaj told, no, I am not, we have all read that, not a merchant. You are a great master, you are not dependent on me, and I am I am also pure servant, I am not dependent on anything material from you. So our relationship is pure. So let's not, because you are a supreme master and I am your pure servant. So we don't need, I mean, generally if the master is not supreme, he will give this give and take because he knows he is dependent. Sometimes we are like leading a group or something. No, we want to ensure that our dependents are happy, so we also give them something because we are dependent on them. We are not really, mutually symbiotic world, That's the nature of this world. So we have to ensure everybody is, happy who is there with us, We have to do so many arrangements. But Lord is a perfect master. He's actually the master. So he doesn't need all that give and take, all that, arrangements to fulfill his whatever he wants to accomplish. He'll do it anyways. So he is supreme. And Prahlad Maharaj told, you are supreme and I am also purely your servant. I am not a merchant over here. So, and in this way that discussion was going on. And then, Prahlad Maharaj asked certain things and know about his father, and Nrsimhadev gave his blessings. And now this section in which Nrsimhadev is giving his instructions now, which is actually the blessings. Instructions, typically understanding of blessings is something magical happens, that is blessing, I got blessings, of Lord, Guru, and this, that. Magical, that's a typical expectation in when we are approaching a great soul or Lord Himself for blessing. But the real blessing is the guidance and the instructions. Because magic may work for us, but when we receive guidance, it not only works for us, but it creates a legacy. It creates a legacy. Okay. The instructions, because Lord Nrsimhadev is giving instructions now, what you have to do. He's giving homework for life for Prahlad Maharaj, and he continues this homework. We see, fast forward, Bali Maharaj, Yagya, there also Prahlad Maharaj is there, intact. So he faithfully follows the instructions of Lord, and that is real blessing. Okay. Because instructions give us the guiding principles in our life. And those guiding principles empower us to be different from what we are. श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र भगवान की जय, गौर निताय की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की जय. And that creates magic within the heart. So generally the expectation in blessing is that something happens and something change, magic wand, some jadoo happens. But the real blessing of Lord comes in form of His instructions, in form of His guidance, or His representative comes in form of His instructions and guidance, which shape our lives in a different direction. Okay, which secures our life on a path of pure devotional service. That is real blessing. And that is what Nrsimhadev is offering to Prahlad Maharaj. And what an instruction. What an amazing instruction. Before this, he tells to Prahlad Maharaj that, do the regular rituals of your, just after saying that I have liberated your father, he says that please go ahead and do your regular customs, ceremonies. And then he says, now go and sit on your father's throne and run the kingdom. And Srila Prabhupada in his purport is saying, although Prahlad Maharaj was a liberated soul, and actually Acharya says that he was a Nitya Siddha playing the role of a sadhaka, Prahlad Maharaj. That was his position. So although he was a liberated soul, he has been asked to do his duties. Although he has no obligations, because he is fully surrendered to Lord. What does that mean? That means that he has exclusive faith in bhakti alone and not in karma or jnana. There is no faith in, what do we mean by faith in bhakti and faith in karma and faith in jnana? Is that he was very clear that the perfection of life is actually in establishing my relationship with Lord. That's the only perfection. That's the only success of life. He was really fixed in that. That's faith in bhakti. He had complete faith in that relationship alone is the truth and everything else is false and is going to change. And that exclusive faith, was what makes him qualified for this. Whereas one has faith in karma means one is having the faith in relationship with Lord, but then one has faith in also in other identities of self, especially the gross identities. That, okay, I am this, and if I do this, that is also going to help me, that is also going to, this is also going to help me, that is also going to. Okay. And when one is having faith in Gyan, then one is having faith in the one's ability to differentiate between matter and spirit and choose spirit over matter and not engage in matter, and faith in one's intelligence, faith in one's discrimination. That is faith in Gyan. Faith in one's ability to control one's engagement with sense objects. Was faith in Gyan. But Prahlad Maharaj was exclusively faith in bhakti. Exclusive faith in his relationship with Lord. Exclusive faith in the taste which one gets in the relationship, exchange which one gets in the relationship with Lord. That is what he was relishing, and that is where his complete faith resided. Even then, Nrsingadev advises him to do his duties because he was a leader. Yad yad acharati shreshthas tatta devi tarojana. Because whatever he does, common people will follow. So there are only two possibilities. Either we are liberated, like Prahlad Maharaj. Okay. Even then, he is asked to follow. Or we may not be liberated. Anyways, we are then supposed to follow. Okay. That's the entire premise of Bhagavad Gita also. Bhagavad Gita, Lord, initially Arjuna mentioned this point that no, I am not going to fight, I will better beg. Begging is also an action, Lord told. What you will beg? Begging is also, you can't give up action. So do the action which is suited to you. Why? Because if one's heart is not purified, like Prahlad Maharaj, which means exclusive faith in bhakti, which means even one is engaged in karma or jnana, it's very, very external. There's no faith in it. The faith is exclusively in the nourishment of exchange of relationship between Lord and devotee, and that is it. Nothing else actually is important. If one is not at that level, which means the heart is not purified, one has to do duties. One has to do duties. That's the whole premise of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna talks about karma yoga, and there are so many verses, he says. In fact, to establish because sometimes you may think, oh, it's lower, doing one's duty is lower. So Krishna tells this verse also, right? All of us, we have seen this verse. What is that verse? Yeah. Karmaneva hi samsiddhim ashita janaka dayaloka samgraham evapi sampashyan kartumarasi. Poor and remembering verses. But it basically says that even Janak Maharaj, like Mahajanas, they also perform prescribed duties. It is purifying for them also. So do your duties. Do your duties. Okay. And when we do our duties, simply for sake of doing duties, that's called Nishkama Karma platform, which produces Gyan, which produces enlightenment. Because purification is ignorance and knowledge is knowledge, enlightenment. The heart gets purified. And that Gyan is not that Gyan of what we hate. That Gyan is actually the Gyan that, I am soul, there is Lord. Lord is spiritual, I am spiritual, and we share a spiritual relationship. That is a Gyan. That gets enlightened. And then naturally, Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Then one surrenders to Lord and engages in devotional service, and pure devotional service, exclusive devotional service with an exclusive faith on Lord and relationship between Lord and the devotee. That is what happens. Okay. So therefore it is important to follow the prescribed duties for liberated soul, because they are setting the standard for everyone else. And for conditioned souls, obviously, that they are conditioned, they have to be purified. They have to be purified. And in fact, in some of the Shruti Smriti, the verses, it is being mentioned that Lord says that, no, one who neglects the duties, which is without achieving the platform of actually purification, then it has its own consequences. Okay. And one of the verses he says that they are actually not behaving like Vaishnavas. So anyways, so the point is that's the whole message which Lord gives to Arjuna also in Bhagavad Gita, that one has to perform one's duties. Even though one is one is liberated, and what to talk of somebody who is conditioned to this material modes. Because what happens is when we do duties, and that's where in third chapter in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna, and that is where all these verses come in, he starts with this concept of yajna. Prescribed duties are compared to as yajna, sacrifice. Sacrifice means what? You do something which you don't like to do. It's painful. It's not something which you really like, but you still do it. Okay. Now that's a very interesting concept, because we also say that we have to do things according to our nature. Means you like to do what you do. And you also say the concept of yajna, which says that you have to do it. Because even we do something which we like to do, it will show its own. Even if we have a nature to do something, even if we have nature to be placed in something, it will always come with an element of what I don't like to do, what I don't want. So continuing to do even in those phases of liking, disliking will purify our heart. So it's very interesting that we have to follow our nature, because what does Narsingh says? Without transgressing the injunction of Vedas, as a matter of formality, you may perform your particular duties. And Krishna also tells Arjuna that, yes, I understand begging is an action, but begging is not for you. You're there for fighting. That's your nature. That's your DNA. Okay? Subtle DNA. So you have to follow that. But in doing so, there will be occasions like Arjuna encountered the occasion of, finding his relatives, and it may be come in any shape and form where you may think, now I don't want to do it. Still continue doing it. And that's what calls it as sacrifice. So to do something which I like to do initially, because the nature of mind is such, any new thing it will like. कुछ भी नई चीज को पसंद करता है मैं. But to continue to do certain things, it then equipoises the mind to continue to stick to it. Otherwise, one just becomes a kangaroo. One keeps hopping from here to there to here to there. That's the nature of mind. Keep hopping. So this prescribed duties, what it does is, it stabilizes us. It stabilizes us. It stabilizes our mind. And it actually brings, what is that purification happening? It helps us give up this platform of liking and disliking. Liking, disliking. I like this, I don't like this. I like this, I don't like this. Still you continue to do it, transcendence happens. Transcendence happens. And then that is the purification which is happening. Attractions and aversions to this world. When we continue doing our duties, we understand that there is a higher pleasure in doing duty itself rather than flip-flopping between one's attractions and aversions. There's a higher pleasure in the goodness rather than vacillating between passion and ignorance. So in this way, the heart gets purified. And in that purified state, slowly one gets, come to the platform of Gyan. But it's a risky route. It's a risky route. And Kali Yuga especially, entirely depending on Varnashram is very, very difficult. It is important, but it's very difficult. Because we know the state of Kali, as it is advancing, it's such a precarious state. Fundamentals get questioned, The fundamentals only get questioned. Therefore, it's very important to have association of pure devotees, association of great souls, and association of strongly practicing devotees. Association of devotees who are actually following the right path. Then it becomes easier for us, accelerates our purification, and doesn't keep us only trying to find the duality, transcending the duality of matter, but relishing the spirituality also. So therefore, association is therefore very critical. Okay. So I want to just talk of framework, Actually, we'll slowly see that it comes out in the translation of this purport only. That by now at least we are clear, okay, before we move ahead, that uh, whether it is a conditioned soul or a liberated soul, everybody has to perform on duty. Not doing a duty is not an option. It's becoming very clear over here. Okay. So, and when we do our prescribed duties, our heart gets purified. The test of purification is exclusive faith in bhakti, not our understanding of, oh, I am done with it, my heart is satiated. No, it's about the exclusive faith in bhakti, because we may feel satiated even by seeing the trouble in doing something. That's a problem. But to have exclusive faith in the relationship of Lord and relishing that relationship and the taste in that relationship is the test of purification, where one can say, I have no faith in karma, but yet again one has to do it. Because if one is coming to that level, naturally he'll be the leader of devotees. So many people will be looking, still one has to do it. Okay. So, the first important principle, considering, okay, all of us have certain conditionings, at least I'm speaking for myself, I have, some conditionings are there, whatever, is there, it's there. So what's the framework to look at, The first layer is that of awareness. Awareness of what my nature is, where I am, what I am, who am I? Discover yourself 2.0, So, awareness of one's nature. Of course, awareness of all this is, I'm talking to devotees, so we understand that, Spiritually, we are convinced that we are soul, there is a goal. Obviously, we'll come to spiritual aspect as well. But even after practicing, it's because it's about practicing devotees, right? So, awareness. Okay, knowing. For awareness, very important to be honest. Very important to be clear. Very important not to be what I should be. Very important to be what I am. It's very important. Very, very important. Awareness is very, very critical. That's the first step. Okay. Awareness in what I should be doing. What am I? What am I? Who am I? What is actually my calling? Doing that. Okay. Well, that's what Lord brings back, that awareness to Arjuna. You're a fighter, you have to fight. That's it. Nothing else. So awareness is the first level. And the second level of this is, after one is aware, one is doing one's duties, okay, one has to be ethical. One has to be ethical. What happens is, let's say I'm practicing as a devotee, I know my nature, but sometimes we may think, since I am a devotee, I can do anything. I can do anything. Since I am doing my duties, I am practicing devotion, I am transgressed moral codes also. It's very important to be ethical. Ethical means what? I am not talking of something really, of course, being ethical means ethical. In whatever I am, in my life, ethical in my life, Not playing a triple role. No, we used to see double roles, right? Or triple role, 4 roles, 5 roles, 6 roles. Ethical. I'm doing ethical, yaar. It's about me and Lord. Okay. So being ethical means being straightforward. Whatever I am, Not being diplomatic, not being political. It's very important. Because between spiritual and doing my nature, I am doing amazing my activities, duties, everything is great. I am doing amazing spiritually. But sometimes we forget the ethical part of it. Okay. Being respectable to others is also part of being ethical. Respecting everybody's existence. Everybody is an individual after all. Not that I am becoming a great dude. All these things are very important. Because otherwise we become very dry, very disoriented even in our devotional life. Very, very disoriented. Okay. Because this keeps our mind Brahmana and not Kripana. Krishna talks about Kripana and Brahmana, right? Sometimes we think it's body or soul. But there's an element of mind also, very, very important. Mind is going to be cause of our liberation, and mind only is going to be the cause of our bondage. Means what? It means that we have to, these things become important. It's not just one, two, three things, It's about these things will eventually hit us, for sure. Or forget about spiritual goals, even the material goals, if one is not, it hits, a big headline will come, like that. So it's very important to be respectable to people around us, even though we are like, whatever is warm to people. And not become like, I'm superior, you are inferior, all those things. These are very, that's ethical. Ethical about my own conduct and ethical about everybody's role in their life, in the, in society. I'm very acknowledging that is also ethics only. Acknowledging their existence is also ethics. Okay, is important. Okay, and being straightforward, no diplomacy and politicking and all those things. That keeps us safe in devotional life. Otherwise, we get lost. So that's a second part. Being ethical, knowing one's limits. Knowing one's limits. It said that, kind words, soft heart, strong boundaries. Sometimes the thing gets interchanged, We have strong words and kind boundaries for ourselves, So, kind words, soft heart, strong boundaries. We should know our limits, okay? So that's the second aspect of it. And I'll come back to the translation which Prabhupada is writing. All these four things, what we are just talking, is right there. The third thing is to be balanced, okay? Because what happens is, I am good, I am doing my role very nicely, everything is very good. But we have to understand the material nature and the modes of nature are so strong. They are constantly competing for our attention. So they'll always pull us back, always. So it's very important to ensure that at least in our routine, at least in our life, we are not neglecting, while we are building this, we are not neglecting our spiritual existence. And we are not neglecting the other things as well, So it's very important to keep, and life is going to, baffle us always and give reasons to us that why I should just emphasize on matter and matter and matter and matter and ignore spirit. So it is very important to keep ourselves rooted in the balance, in the concept of balance. Actually, the goal of our life is to become a balanced devotee. It's very, very, very safe goal to have. You want to become a great devotee, it will be a problem only. Goal is my life is to strike balance in my devotional life. Whatever position I am in, I just do that. And then it leads to enlightenment, goodness, realization. Everything is going to come. Everything will come. So that's a third. So awareness. The second was ethical. The third is balanced. And the topmost is spiritual at heart, Spiritual at heart. All this may all continue externally, but if we are not cherishing the goal of Krishna consciousness within our hearts, cherishing Lord within our hearts, then we can't, we will get derailed, So, in order to be completely successful, which Narsingh Dev is granting success to Prahlad Maharaj in all respects, it's very important that we follow this, So, spiritual, after all, what we are doing, why we are doing is we have to relish the goal. We have to cherish the goal. The goal is to develop pure attraction towards Lord and Lord's name, Lord's form, Lord's qualities, Lord's pastimes, Lord's services. Pure attraction, which is no strings attached attraction. Not that if this is happening, then I am going to do this or this. That's the goal. No strings attached attraction, नहीं ये करा तो फिर ये होगा. Pure attraction. That's the goal we all are striving towards. So keeping that goal in our heart and mind, remembering that goal always, remembering, maybe writing that goal always for ourselves is very, very important. We created a goal 20 years back, or maybe 10 years back, or maybe 5 years back. It's important to keep revisiting that goal. Why I, started this whole transformation in my life, for whatever, it has to continue. It may start off because we like it, but we may sometimes lose that direction altogether, We have to keep reminding ourselves. Sometimes it's good to remember by hearing, but it's also good to do mananam oneself. Why I came over here. It should not be always a forceful remembrance of why I'm doing what I'm doing. It has to be like an inner radar of our life, rather than a forceful remembrance that somebody is beating with stick that why you came over here is because of this. I think at some point of time it should stop, It has to be internal radar which is moving on in our life, which is guiding our life. That's what we want. That's what we want to be. We are talking of attraction. At least the goal has to be radar-like and not forced on us, at some point of time. So awareness, ethical, balance and spiritual. And now let me lead the translation and you will find all these 4 things. After performing the ritualistic ceremonies, take charge of your father's kingdom. Sit upon the throne and do not be disturbed by materialistic activities. Please keep your mind fixed upon me. Without transgressing the injunctions of the Vedas, as a matter of formality, you may perform your particular duties. Everything is there. Ethical, don't transgress your duties. Awareness, your particular duties. Balance, don't be disturbed by material activities, still continue doing it. And please keep your mind fixed upon me, spiritual. It's all there. Right there. So there's a framework for life for all of us, All of us have to follow this. And as we discussed, Nrsimhadev is giving this to Prahlad Maharaj, so definitely we fall somewhere, It's good for us. The beauty of spiritual instructions is this, that it is always contextual, at the same time so universal. It is so beautiful, it's a mystery of Krishna consciousness, Although contextual, but so universal. So with that, we'll just pause. If there are any comments, any thoughts, any questions, we'll take it up. Or else we have a quick holiday on Sunday. Saturday, sorry.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Great to always hear from you about beauty of duty. So this ethical part, when you mentioned, devotional part is also there, as you mentioned, in the heart, the Lord has to be there. So while keeping the Lord in the heart, the tendency to transgress the ethical is very easy. In the sense that I'm doing it for Krishna. Whatever the things are there. So surpassing becomes a tendency to surpass is, when that goal is there, that ultimately I'm doing for Krishna. Krishna is owning everything, controlling everything. So your comments for that, please.
Yeah, that's a valid question. That's why I categorically told ethical. Because sometimes it may so happen that as devotees, you may take it for granted, that okay, since I am a devotee, I can, okay, chalta hai yaar, chalta hai. Ye bhi chalta hai, wo bhi chalta hai. So we have to understand that we are not devotees, first of all. According to 𝗚𝗂𝗍𝗺 Thakur, we are practicing devotees. Okay, devotee technically is somebody who has achieved prema. That's very, very clear. The definition is very clear. Okay, we are sadhakas. We're practicing devotees. And therefore it is important because we have conditionings. So we have to manage, work with it in such a way that those conditionings get purified and not further complicate it. Therefore, it is important that also to remain, ethical. So therefore, it is this. It's about, it's just about, understanding that this is an important dimension of my life, and I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it. Because if really one is a devotee, one will think, I mean, these ethical codes, what, without transgressing the injunction of Vedas, where are Vedas coming from? Where are they coming from? Lord. So how can I keep Lord in my heart and transgress Lord only? I can't, right? Technically, I can't. So it's a fact, it happens, and therefore association is important. Therefore, and more than actually association is important, and more than we also have to continuously understand and remember ourselves, that what we are here for. What are we here for? What are we doing? क्या कर रहे हैं हम? So that reminder is important. Then we'll be very clear, that okay, I have to be ethical. Because generally one becomes unethical, or or this, or losing respect for others, or thinking one is very superior, or controlling, or this or that. So many things happen because somewhere that goal is lost. That goal is lost only. So therefore, reminding that goal is important to ourselves, And forceful remembrance is one thing, or rather conditioning our mind that only somebody has to tell me, only then I'll do it. That also is a problem. We have to, sometimes the spoon feeding becomes so much that we feel that somebody has to necessarily remind me, then only I'll understand the problem. We have our own homework to do. Anything else? Any other point? Any other question?
I have one question. How to come out from liking and disliking? Such like we have some instinct to do some duties and different attraction on the, so but the superior want to different thing. So how to
Superior wants means what?
no such like different things. Such like I want to cook, but superior want to, they have to go to preaching.
Okay. So that's why I told, it's a very interesting thing. You have to understand your nature also, and at the same time do transcend disliking, liking also. So it's a package. Life is always a package only. Okay. We have to do, if we think that in my package I'll do whatever I like to do, that is also going to be a problem. Because not only we as devotees, nobody in this world gets that package. Believe me, nobody. If one is looking for that package, gets frustrated. Okay. So we'll always have something to be done which has to be done as a matter of situation. Like I am working in a particular organization. I can't say I just like to do that. I have to do certain things because things has to move on. Things have to move on. So we can't deny it that also. We need to have that maturity. At the same time, that a good significant portion of life, if I'm just doing what I'm not supposed to do and I'm just not expressing myself that this is what I am good at, this is where I can contribute, then also we may get burnt out. No, somebody may get purified even in that, but depends on our capacity also. So, there are, I was like, I was talking to one, I know, one of the very senior devotees, and he was saying that, no, when they were in their particular temple, and it was like, everything what you don't want, do it. He could take it and got purified, and he later on went on to become sannyasi and all. So it depends. It depends on what appetite you have, what capacity you have. But generally speaking, people get burnt out if they don't really know. But at the same time, if you say, I am going to do what I like, then also you are organization, you are taking from organization and you are not cooperating. That also is not right. That is not right. Because you are part of it, we are drawing from it, we have to give it back also. In a way, sometimes when which we don't like also, that is perfectly fine, because I'm drawing from it. I hope it is clear. I'm sorry, there is no straight answer to this. Yeah.
Guruji, I have two questions. First is, you told faith in Gyan, faith in Bhakti, and exclusive faith in Bhakti and faith in Karma. So in faith in Gyan, you told that the faith in our control and discrimination to choose spirit or matter. So sometimes this discrimination comes from Bhakti Mein Gyan also. So how, because Bhakti Mein Gyan also chooses discrimination of spirit or matter. So thus it also comes in faith in Gyan, or does it, the faith in Bhakti Mein Gyan comes in exclusive faith in Bhakti?
So yes, definitely when we are that's a very good question. And definitely when we are doing devotional service, we read scriptures, we understand. In fact, Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his book 𝗬𝗂𝗿𝗺, he talks that there are certain aspects even in devotional literature what we hear, they are borrowed from Gyan. Like if senses are working, I am not working, senses are working, senses and sense objects. All this is in the realm of Gyan, technically speaking, okay, which we hear in devotional life. The point is that knowledge is important, that's why it is given, because not everybody is going to be so immersed in taste of devotional life that, like, Prithu Maharaj was just, when rolling in his stool and urine also, still he was relishing, right? Prithu Maharaj, right? Rishabdev. He was rolling in his stool and urine and still he was relishing, right? So that is the level, okay? That is also there. For him, Gyan is already digested, eaten, digested, and in the nerves and in the blood and the veins, everywhere, For us, that is not the case. Okay, so we, when we are in the same situation of interacting with a sense object, we will have to use Gyan. We'll have to use Gyan. We will, internally we may not be feeling that, but we'll have to intellectually convince ourselves, no, this is not to be done and all. That means I am still having faith in Bhakti, means the taste is so much that it's okay. It's just fine. I mean, that same Gyan is there, but it's more digested, running in the veins, And one is relishing the taste. So one is giving up on interaction with sense objects because there is a taste coming. Spirit taste coming.
So Prabhuji, we are using Gyan to come to the platform of Bhakti,
Yes.
pure Bhakti.
Yes, obviously. So we are not, that's what I'm saying. You are using karma also. You are studying, because if you don't study, sit 24 hours, you will get mad. So you have to go and study, you have to go and work also. So you are using karma also, you are using Gyan also. And you are using Bhakti also. Eventually then, one develops the exclusive faith in Bhakti. That's the journey.
And Prabhuji, last question is, you said Janak Maharaj like Mahajan also do their duties, which is purifying for them also. Prabhuji, they are already completely purified, so how the duties are purifying them?
There's no limit to it, because they are doing it for the pleasure of Lord. See, doing the duties also, there are different platforms of doing duties. One is that I am doing my duty because I have to do it. You get purified. And when I am doing my duties because, that leads to the purification of heart, and you get purified. I want to understand this concept and know fertility of, or the fragility of matter, material enjoyment, that's all. But he was doing duties thinking that also was done in 𝗏𝗏𝗺. The Varnashram duties were also done in 𝗏𝗏𝗺. So that also becomes a source of pleasure only. That also becomes source of purification and pleasure, because he was seeing the so direct and clear connection between apparently external duties and relationship with Krishna was so clear that it's all good. So there's no limit, because ultimately it's Krishna's energy, and pure devotee of Lord can draw inspiration even from something apparently very, very mundane and get purified. Because you can't say this is the 100 gram purification, that is it. You can't get more purified than. That's not the case. Anandam, it's Vardhanam, always increasing. Okay, anything else? We are good. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada. Oh, sorry, there's one question over there. Do we have time? Okay. We'll take these two quickly. Yeah. We'll take one. You decide.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, Prahlad Maharaj achieved the Lord's grace. He personally invoked the Lord, but still we see that Nrsimhadev is instructing him to perform his duty well in this material world. So means I cannot understand that why even after perfecting his life, still Lord is expecting him to stay in the material world and perform his duties.
Here Nrsimhadev had to appear. Krishna was standing right in front of Arjuna. 𝗤𝗂𝗃. Still he was instructing the same thing, And that's what clearly it is being mentioned, because Prahlad Maharaj was a leader. He was a liberated soul. He was a leader. If he doesn't do, other people may think, I am also like Prahlad Maharaj, I'll also give it up. And there'll be a chaos. That is why. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tad evetarujana. Right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. All the beautiful points to take home was the awareness, ethics, balance, and spiritual growth, and one-pointed focus to the spiritual attention. So my question here was, would you give some light towards the Varnashram as well, when you just recently mentioned about, as we see the kind of the world or the life being evolving, as everything's so getting like a cookie cutter, which is not sustainable. There is construction, over construction. There is also over consumption. As you see, there is a Walmart back in different countries, and there is D-Mart here, where people go to just buy one item for a grocery, and they end up getting the whole cart filled with. And when they come back home, and the wife's asking, oh, I just asked you to get one item, and you like, no, there was an offer, there was this, and it's just like superficial needs, right? So, and we see that another decade, we will not be able to sustain the kind of, the lights or the fuel or the gas, diesel, everything is not going to be sustainable, as we see a lot of our spiritual masters putting light as to Varnashram growing. There is Badrikashram in Kurukshetra, there is Salem Varnashram, there is also in Gujarat, and one in even Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, His Holiness, and Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. They're all, doing and giving awareness and understanding of how this can be. And even Srila Prabhupada's, was desire to have Varnashram, because all of this will not have like self-sufficient. What I mean to ask you a question is like, how can we be self-sufficient, and the superficial needs and all of that? How would you put some light on how can we have that Varnashram preparation, to be honest, to how we could prepare ourselves?
Thank you for a very important question, and it has been it is talk of town. Okay, so we farms. I think you're specifically talking on Varna part.
Varnashram, yes. Also prescribes duties also is like, one is, we are all dwelling under the three modes of material nature as goodness, passion, ignorance. And the duality is like, one time we like something, the other time we do not like something. It's just, we're always into that spell of the modes. And the duties to perform, Varnashram definitely helps, right? As we understand what is our duty, or what am my nature, inclination towards this service. Yes.
So I think, so when Prabhupada first went to US, he first started with Kirtan, Kirtan and class, Bhagavat Vidhi, and then, he slowly understood that not everybody is on the level of, where one is just chanting and hearing. Then Prabhupada established temples, Pancharatric came into existence, and then everybody was living in temple, everybody, man, woman, everybody. And then Prabhupada knew that, slowly. He also established farm communities, and he also, started to focus on the duties of different ashrams. Okay, and in a very short span of time, he could establish a lot. I think Varna part has been always a very controversial or subject of discussion. because it is so individual. No, you can standardize the rules of devotional service. You can standardize the modes of worshipping deities. You can still standardize certain duties of ashram. How do you standardize varna? Although we say chatur varna maya system, but then within that there is so much of variety. And then there is a reality of this world. There are so many things. So I don't know we have an answer to that, at least the varna part of it. All the farm communities definitely are there. We are yet to see proliferating examples like that. Now we can keep saying, no, this side has to do more, that side has to do more. That is continuous, but the reality, fact of the matter, and I am not a farm person, so I'm not the right person to even answer this question, but I feel that in earlier Vedic times also there was a variety. It's not that everybody was a farmer. There were spiritual cities as well. There was Dwarka, there were cities as well. So I think there are many Kaler dosho nidhi rajan asti etad mahadguna. So there are many doshas, in terms of varna also, as you are saying, the paper currency, we know the debt and all those things. And for the debt will go, and there are also doomsday predictions that no, this will go after 10 years, the fuel will get over and all. I mean, so we have seen, heard all those things. I mean, can't really, not really, I don't have a crystal ball to really say or understand what is going. But the point is that yes, there are definitely issues due to the current economic systems. What's the answer? We have to navigate. It's a journey as a society we have to take. The answer is going to be only farms? Not sure. Answer is going to be only really not sure. Very not sure. So that Varna part I think is going to be because it is very contextual. Very contextual. Somebody may be good at certain things, and unfortunately the resources are coming in form of the paper currency, whatever we may say, and probably 10 years from now it is going to be cryptocurrency. What you'll do? That's where the things are moving. If you really see one aspect of it, they are saying that all this debt will be squared off, made to zero, and it will all be crypto. Then what we'll do? I mean, it's very difficult to say where things, even it's very difficult to say what is going to happen 5 years from now, whether it is going to be this, that, so many things. I mean, personally I'm I'm talking about my opinion on this. So Varna is very contextual. It has to be navigated with one's family, one's child, one's children in a very conscious way. At least we should not do a factory based, see, whatever has happened with us has happened already, more or less. But for our kids, we have to navigate with them in a non-pressure kind of situation. Working with them, working through them, and not imposing anything on them of what is going to be, what is their strength. Giving them exposure in multiple ways and let them talk about it. So I think that is where some development can happen. Rest, I think, yeah, I mean, we can keep trying. I am definitely 1 on 10 when you talk of farms, so can't really comment much on it. But definitely one can find one's soul calling, and there is still value in world. People are valuing contributions, and one can find the way of how one can contribute in this world, and that was valued and that will be valued. So I think we just need to focus on that individually for ourselves more than standardized answers. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tai Gaur Premanande. Hare Bol. I could then see that it is there in translation also. First I thought, then you saw this. Then I saw hearing. I think my all blessings on you. My blessings on you. Actually, I was thinking there are elements to that. These are broad. There are many. A lot is possible. Yeah. One's behavior, respect, how one feels. I heard a seminar on threats. Threats. If you want to kill somebody without a weapon, and I tell you that was an amazing one. And it's more about there are 5 kinds of threats. I think it's very applicable, very interesting. You might be doing it unknowingly, or you might be getting affected. It is done lovingly also. Lovingly also. I tell you that you can't do it. You can't take that decision. I'll tell you what to do. So these are interesting concepts. There was some time in the Thank you. Somebody needs to play karta. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Yashodabhiyolukhaladhavamana Paramrishtamathyanta todrutya gopya Rudantam muhurnetra yugmamrejantam Karambhojayugmena satanka netram Muhushwasakam patrirekhanka kantha Muhushwasakam patrirekhanka kantha Stitagraivam damodaram bhaktivadham Iti driksvalilabhim anandakunde Swaghosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu bhaktairjitatvam तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तैर्जितात्मा पुनः प्रेमतस्तां शतावृत्ति वन्दे परं देवमोक्षां न मोक्षां वदीं वा न चन्यं वृणेहां वरेशादपि हा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बाल इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बाल सदा मे मनस्याविरास्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलय वृतं कुन्तलय स्निग्ध रक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मुहुश्चुम्बितां बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मनस्याविरास्तमालं लक्ष्यलाभये नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जालब्धिमाग्ना नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःख जालब्धिमाग्ना कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याते दीनं बतानो कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याते दीनं बतानो गृहानिशमामज्ञां मेर्यक्षिदृश्या कुबेरात्मजौ बद्ध मूर्त्याैव यद्वा त्वयमुचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयाच्छा तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयाच्छा मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे हा मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरे हा। नमस्तेस्तु धाम्ने स्वरदीप्ति धाम्ने। नमस्तेस्तु धाम्ने स्वरदीप्ति धाम्ने। त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वास्य धाम्ने। त्वदीयोदरायाथ विश्वास्य धाम्ने। नमो राधिकायाय त्वदीय प्रियाय। नमो राधिकायाय त्वदीय प्रियाय। नमो राधिकायाय त्वदीय प्रियाय। नमो अनंत लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं। नमो अनंत लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं। नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं दशकुण्डलं गोकुले भ्राजमानम्। जयो राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे। जयो राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे। जयो राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे गायो प्रभुपदा 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 जयो प्रभुपदा। निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल। श्री श्री दामोदर अष्टकम की, सत्यव्रत मुनि की, शील प्रभुपाद की।